How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Black Metal Rebellion. I'm your host, Jesse Morgan, and today we have another Metalhead unboxing to do, this time for the December box from 2020. But as you all know, they don't normally arrive until the first week of the following month. So today I've got December's box, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's in it with you guys. I know a couple of unboxings have already been opened today, but I'm excited to see what's in my box regardless. And before we start, I want to show off this Cavain shirt. Yenold Lushi with on the back, which I'm pretty sure means Skinwalker, which is basically like a Wendigo, I think. Either way, it's an old native folklore creature. Really cool. And this was a special pre-order that I think was made back in around September of 2020. But yeah, stoked that it finally came in from Black Lion Records. Cavain's an awesome blackened thrash with a bunch of other awesome elements mixed in band you should definitely check out. And with that being said, let's get on to the unboxing. Alright, so here we go. The Metalhead box for the month of December. And the first thing up is the shirt. So let's get that out of the way. And the shirt is of a band called Lord Blile. Hell yeah. But yeah, Lord Blile is an awesome black metal band out of Sweden. Really cool red demon creature there, which is more than likely the Blile demon. Kind of reminds me of the Beast Nocturnal or the Necro Beast or whatever album that was. But also the red kind of reminds me of the Angel Ripper album or Angel Grinder album. Either way, pretty sweet to get this. Even though I do kind of prefer the old Lord Blile logo with the bat wings and the slightly different font. But yeah, sick shirt, sick band. Once again, they started in 1992 from Sweden. You may have heard of Lord Blile before if you watch Nick, aka Motley Crue Forever One from the United Rebel Alliance's metal YouTubers group we have here. Motley Crue Forever One talks quite a bit about Lord Blile, and I think mentions the 1997 Enter the Moonlight Gate album the most, if anything. And that's probably one of my favorite albums too. The more recent albums I think I enjoy is probably The Seventh Seal, the one that came out in 2004, the kind of like sepia toned beigey cover. That was the one with the new logo. I think that was probably the better one out of the newer Lord Blile. But yeah, if you want some really good Lord Blile, check out Enter the Moonlit Gate or Kiss the Goat or like any of the first three albums. Really good stuff. And they just recently came back, reformed in 2020, and they released a compilation to kick things off with their first two demos. They're remastered and they sound pretty interesting. They don't sound quite like what they sounded like on Moonlit Gate or Kiss the Goat, but very interesting stuff for sure. Definitely want to check that out if you liked old school Lord Blile. Alright, next I guess I will take out the pin, which I'm a fan of Mayhem. I'm just not a fan of this character. I'm more Team Varg, but there we go. We have the Euronymous looking really dopey. I'll take it out just so you can get a better look at it. So there we go. There's a better look at the really dopey, cockeyed Euronymous thing there. And the robe, I think, is, if you've seen the Lords of Chaos movie, that robe he wore for that photo shoot with his so-called girlfriend that apparently he never had. So, yeah, cool if you're into Mayhem and you don't really know too much about them, so you can still appreciate Euronymous, but I don't know. I know that Lords of Chaos is based on truth and lies, so who knows? The portrayal of Euronymous in it could have been completely wrong. But if he's anything like that, sorry, I'm Team Varg. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens with this pin. All right, getting on to the CDs that came this month. First one up is an awesome fucking Canadian band. This is Occult Burial with their most recent release that came out back in October 30th of 2020. This is their second album called The Burning Eerie Lore. This is one maniacal vocalist in this band. Just the craziest vocals I've heard in a long time. And then he also does these occasional high-pitched power metal screams like ah. So I don't know, maybe Merciful Fate reminiscent, but yeah, really cool band. I want to get their first album, being Hideous Obscure, from 2016. The logo is really cool. Wouldn't mind getting a shirt with that logo on it as well. I heard people like Canyon Bickle talk quite a bit about Occult Burial back in the day, and I've always wanted to get a hold of it, but just kind of kept slipping my mind to pick them up. But really cool. Once again, kind of like a blackened thrash metal band from Ottawa, Ontario, that started in 2012. They also have an EP with, I think, a track or two off of it on here, but they also have an EP in 2018 called Skeletal Laughs or Laughter. But yeah, so really cool to get some Canadian blackened thrash in there. If you're a fan of like Midnight or Bastardizer or Vanek, this is more of the like black metal, black and thrash, not black and roll, but more black and thrash tinge. And yeah, really good stuff. Highly recommend. The vocals are some of the wildest maniacal vocals I've heard in a long time. Not sure if you'll have to get used to them or not. I didn't have to get used to them. They're just kind of unexpected when you hear them for the first time. But yeah, awesome. Stoked to have this in the collection. Thanks, Metalhead Box. And next is a new band from Oklahoma, USA. This is Caustic with their debut EP, Caustic Death, that came out May 1st, 2020. Let's crack this open. They are a apparently crossover thrash band. I didn't hear too much punk or hardcore in it. If anything, I'd say they sound like a hardcore, slightly hardcore tinged Slayer, because he's definitely trying to do those Tom Araya vocals, but obviously, well, not obviously, but a little bit more lo-fi, a little less polished than the Slayer albums. Before this, they had a demo that had a different logo and looked really death metal-y, like really kind of like spiky, brutal logo. Not like unreadable, but it was definitely more brutal than that, even though I actually really like that logo. Brutal yet readable, so very cool. Anywho, yeah, they started, I think, roughly August of 2019. Their first post on Facebook was like August 19th, so I'm assuming they started in August. There's the inside there. And that's what's behind the tray. So yeah, 7-track EP, about almost 25 minutes worth of material. Not bad. I'm as you know, I'm not a big fan of Slayer, so the Tom Araya sounding vocals is a little kind of off-putting, but they have their own unique sound and their own unique kind of guitar riffs, and it's not quite Tom Araya. Like I said, it's got that hardcore tinged, so I guess crossover sounding thrash to it. I would definitely listen to this any day over any Slayer album, so I highly recommend checking it out if you're into bands that sound like that. Yep, that's cool. An awesome crossover thrash project that started recently from Oklahoma, Caustic, with Caustic Death. All right, let's get on to the bonus items in here. They are winter themed. First up being these Bathory logo gloves that are apparently smart gloves. that allows you to interact with your touchscreen devices. The only problem is these things never fucking work for me because I don't know, I'm cold-blooded or something, and the warmth of my hand doesn't make the tips work on the screens, or I just have too thick of a screen cover on my phones because I put them in these like OtterBox basically things. So either way, cool to have some gloves for the winter, I guess, that are metal themed. Not the coolest item you could get in a Metalhead box. I know they gotta try every month and do something different and throw in something unique just to spice up the box every month. Once again, not the coolest item, but at least it's probably a little bit practical. I don't know. Would the dude from Bathory wear these? I don't know. And the second last item in the box is a toque. A Razor toque, which awesome Canadian thrash metal band. Unfortunately, I don't actually own any Razor albums. I will have to correct that in the future at some point, because once again, awesome Canadian thrash. However, I do enjoy the logo, I do enjoy the band, and toques are always good for the cold-ass Canadian weather, so good job, Metalhead Box. We will throw that on now, I guess. Fuck it. Alright, well, you can tell me how ridiculous I look in a toque. Alright, and the last thing in here is a signature, as always, this time from the drummer and vocalist of Nocturnus AD, Mike Browning. Hell yeah. And he's got that cool ass Nocturnus necklace going on there. And on the back, it's promoting the new album Paradox, which is actually pretty damn good. I'm not really one for old school death metal, but the first track on it's really good. The second one, I think, is the one where he does this weird syncopated matchup with the odd off-time guitar riff and beat, and I don't really like what he's doing with his vocals there. But the first song's really good, and the rest of the album's pretty good, minus that second song. Really good follow-up to their old The Key album, which is obviously their most notable release. And I would probably pick up the Paradox album if I had a bunch of extra spending money. So that says a lot, considering I'm not a big death metal fan, like old school or regular death metal. But yeah, if you haven't heard Paradox yet, definitely go check it out. If I can enjoy it, you'll probably enjoy it more. Once again, awesome old school Florida death metal band that started in 1987. Nocturnus AD. Fucking talented dudes. Cool that I got this signature. Alright, so that's it for the December box. And yeah, my favorite items probably would be the Occult Burial CD and the Lord Blile shirt, and maybe this toque. I don't know. Let me know if toques suit me. I kind of look like Jay from Jay and Silent Bob, which, whatever. He's a interesting character. So yeah, that is it. I'm gonna give this box a 7 out of 10. Pretty decent box this month. I would have probably preferred a band patch over the gloves, and maybe the old school Lord Blile logo instead of the new one, because I only really like one of the more modern albums, but can't really complain. For 50 bucks Canadian, I think I got my money's worth and then some. So cheers, Metalhead Box. Hope you guys enjoyed this review and unboxing. Until next time, for glory, for the Rebel Alliance, Slammerella out.